Burns, what's going on in Grange this morning, buddy?
I mean, to your point, think about what you're talking about. How does Heather know how to do that? How does she know how to mute everybody? How does she know that if she don't mute everybody, it will be mass chaos? It's experience. She does this every day. She's been doing this every day since November the 1st. And that's what you've got to get in a rhythm of in this business, is doing the same thing every day. Now, will you tweak things along the way personally? Absolutely. You're going to tweak things personally? Absolutely. So Jamie Trent taught me personally, he was booking his day in the morning before he got on the call. I was in such a rhythm of doing the coaching call, then making my dials, right? Then we implemented text. I was hesitant to change Jamie Trent, but it took a leader saying, hey, man, this is what I'm doing. I feel different. I got 6, 7, 8 appointments before I get on the call. So it changed the mindset, right? So, now those texts go out early in the morning before the call, So, but to your point, you and Heather and everybody on this call that's in a rhythm of doing it, you do it based on experience. There was a quote this morning. It's like, man, the man with experience, he never worries about somebody else's opinion on something. You can't tell Noelle Hughes that virtual don't work. You can't tell her that she's not profitable, right? Why? Because she's doing it every single day. And that's what you've got to get into a routine of, is just simply doing it. And we got the secret to it. We got the key to it. It's 6 appointments. 6 appointments a day. As Connor Jones said, what does a true 90 look like for you? Run it for, it's almost like you wish you could give people a money back guarantee if they run 288 appointments and don't believe that this thing works, right? Because it does. It not only works, it works at such a high level. And we talk about it all the time. We're just not even scratching the surface.
No, it is, guys. It's that, think about that 90 days where we talked about, John Kite talked about it on Tuesday. And it's that true 90. That means getting 6 a day, every day, 4 days a week for the next 90 days. But here's what I want you to do. Just focus on this week. Where are you at this week, Holly Rogers? Where are you at this week in terms of your 24 appointments? You should be setting at 18 right now, minimally 18. If you're not, you have to make that up today. And if you don't get it tomorrow, today, you got to go do it tomorrow. You got to make sure you get your 24 in, Rod. Otherwise, the formula doesn't work. It's like working at, just take one day at a time and 1 week. And I would put it on your calendar. In each week that you get your 24, Mike, I'd put a big green mark on that one going, check, done, man. I achieved it. It's the same thing with working out. I do the same thing for myself working out. I go, I want to be this consistent, do this workout for 90 days. I'm in that right now. But I have to do it every day. And if I skip a day, that end of the week, Mike, I just go, red mark, I didn't achieve it this week. I've got to get the consistency, but it's breaking it down every day. Even when you don't feel like it, right? And Nick talked about this a couple days ago. Even when you don't feel like it, you still do it. Like yesterday, I did not feel like working out. I go, I have to. I got to go in there and do it. Once you get started, it's okay. You're good. It's the same thing with setting your appointments. I do not want to do this. Well, texting makes it a lot easier, but still, you may be thinking, I got to go send out a bunch of texts. Once you get started, you're like, I'm good. But be honest with yourself. Grade yourself each day and go, did I get my 6? And if I didn't get my 24 for the week, just say, I didn't do it. That's not, and now I got to start my 90 days over. Because it's a true 90. So, but break it down day by day. Then at the end of the week, look at it and say, did I get 24? That's all Nick started doing. That's all Connor and Taylor and these guys started doing, was say, did I get my 24 at the end of the week? And if you don't have it by Thursday after today, by the end of the day, then you're not done. You got to work tomorrow so that you get your 24, because we know that's what it takes to win.
I think one of the most powerful things that you can't see when you hear, if you're not doing that, and you hear Rumbo talk about that, if you hear him talking about getting those true 90, if you could just get a taste, Mike Hall, of what you'll become during that process, if you could just get a glimpse, if you could just feel it just for a moment, what you're going to become during that process, you'll be on an all-out assault. every single day. That's why the greats are so consistent, because they get it. They understand in anything in life. Jamie Trent, athletes, what a Barry Clarkson, they understand that it's what you become during that process. You hear Barry talk about that ledger, right? It wasn't the $76,000 of debt that he paid off, the check mark. It wasn't that made him who he is. It's what he become during that process. That's the biggest thing is who you're going to become, being disciplined, being intentional every single day. So let's get after it, man.
Hang on here with me, Nick. We're gonna do a little live coaching, but I also want to let's bring on our coaches today, Connor and Taylor. Great job, by the way, guys, yesterday. I went back and watched the recording. Incredible job yesterday. Listen, we're just going to tell you what it takes to win here. There's no secrets. There's no, Nick is really doing this, but don't tell anyone else kind of thing. There's none of that going on, because we want everyone else to win at the same level, because we know how much it'll change your life. It'll change your life financially, which is why most of you are here. Right, Mike? Those days when you used to wake up or not sleep at night thinking, oh, man, there's bills coming tomorrow. What day is it? Oh, my gosh, next week's the 15th. You'll just forget about that stuff. Because if you'll go to this True 90, you'll get to that place financially where you start going, just put it on auto pay, man. I don't even look at the bank account. Just put it on auto pay. I know there's plenty of money there. It's nice to get to that point versus I got to go cancel that auto pay real quick before it comes out because I don't have the money in there. That'll change for you in 90 days if you'll commit to the True 90. That can change big time for you. Okay, here's what I want to know. So, Taylor, you're one of them. Hey, Heather, also give me Charlie Robinson. I want to know what these guys did, and then I got a couple more people because I want to know, what did you do to go from, Taylor, from 10 to 12,000? So let's say in 2021, had a second baby. Had Baker, who's now starting to grow up, still takes a lot of attention, helping out mom. New baby on the way, comes for 1st of 2022. So lots of stuff going on kid-wise early in life, right? And I would say consistently you're like in that 10, 12, maybe $14,000 paid range with all that life going on. Life happens, but here's what happens. Here's what I want to know. That switched for you. That switched over the last 60 to 90 days, and all of a sudden you went to 25,000 paid. So here's what I want to know, and here's what everyone else wants to know. If you went from 10 to 12, how'd you go from 25 in 60 to 90 days? What'd you do differently? What'd you change?
Activity and mindset, honestly. I mean, I was really,
specifically, what'd you do?
So I made sure, that I was not going to miss. I upped so 24 was kind of the minimum. So I ended up upping it to my minimum now is like 30, hopefully a week. So I'm setting, 8 to 10 a day. There's probably like one day a week I'll get 6, and then, the rest of the week, typically it's about 8 a day. And then really just deciding to make it happen. That was really it. I just switched it on for myself and just said, all right, I got to go make this happen. Like, I remember when we started, back when virtual started, and me and Connor were talking, he was like, go run a True 90 and see what happens. A True 90 meaning you do not miss your appointments every single day. And that was the first time I'd ever done it. And you'll be amazed what happens when you actually decide to do that and make it a non-negotiable and, don't miss. So
let me ask you this. Where's your lead investment today? Because you started off like everyone else. Initially, a college student coming out, $300 to $500 or so on leads, just working your tail off through that process, and you kept upping your lead investment. So where was your lead investment approximately when you were issuing 10 to 12? And then where's your lead investment today?
So when I was issuing like 10 to 12, it was probably like, I've been on a standing lead order for a long time, but it was probably like 800 to 1,000 a week. Okay. Just in terms of what I was getting consistently. Now I think this week I'm at 1,500. Typically now it's about 1,500 a week that comes out. So I get about 40 leads a week. So, it's been, once I increase the investment, it's no secret.
8 to 10 appointments a day.
Yeah.
Okay, 8 to 10 appointments a day. You grew your lead investment. Guys, and if you're not there right now, you're starting off, you're going, whoa, Michael, you're going 1,500 a month. Sounds like a mountain. Dude, you got to have inventory. But here's where they started. $300, $400, $500. I would say sell whatever you have to sell to get $500 worth of leads your first week in the business, then get another 500 your second week, and then jump that up. Jump it up to 1,000. Because here's what's going to do. We're not here to sell leads. When you buy a lead, we lose money on it in the back end, but we know how it makes it up through premium, right, Mike? It's your lead investment that you jump that up. You have more inventory in your store to sell. That's all it is. It's more inventory to sell. So Taylor, in order to go from 6 appointments a day to 8 to 10, had to have more inventory. So he upped his lead investment so that he could fill those slots.
Yep.
So real simple. That I want to just drill this down. It's a very simple business. It's your production for the week is based off your lead investment 10 times. So let me give you an example of that. You invest 500, you should write, depending on your skill set level, between 3,500 and 5,000 in premium. The next week, same thing. Again, you may be brand new and going, oh man, there's no way I can do that. We just had a brand new person, her first week, she wrote 3,750. Right? 3,500 to 5,000. Second week, another 500. She wrote 5,000, then goes, I'm going to get more leads because I'm going to see if I can write more this week. So she went and invested more. What'd she end up writing? 8,000 for the week. She just upped her lead investment. It was directly tied to that. If she didn't up her lead investment, she would just stay at 5,000 because she had already hit her number. So she had 500 invested, wrote 5,000, and she says, I want to write more. I still got a couple more days left. So upped it and went to 8,000. It's directly tied to that in your activity. So don't overcomplicate it. I know a lot of people just feel like I'm in the dark here. That's all it is. $500, 3,500 to 5,000. When you get to $1,000 in inventory, you should write somewhere between 8 and 10,000, depending on your skill set level. And then you up it again. Here's what Nick Burns did. He said, man, it keeps going up as I grow my lead investment and my experience. It keeps going up. The number keeps going up. So then Nick went from 1,000 to 1,250. Then it went up again. He goes, I go to 1,500. He goes, now I'm writing 15,000 a week. Then he goes, wonder if I could do 20,000. He upped it to $2,000. It's directly tied to your investment. It's just, if you only have, you can't expect to sell 15,000 in a week if your lead investment is 500. You just don't have enough inventory. That's all it is. I want to just drill this down and make it real simple. That's all it is. It's your inventory. It's not the number of leads you have. It's the investment. Just like the t-shirt shop we talk about. If I invest so much in t-shirts to get myself 10 t-shirts, I can't expect to sell 20 t-shirts if I only have 10. Right? I can't expect to have the income from 20 t-shirts sold if I only have 10. It's up in the lead investment. That's all it is. Growing your inventory. Charlie Robinson, same thing for you. So you were in that same area with Taylor. Y'all were like so consistent right next to each other. 10, 12, 14,000. Then boom, you went to 25,000. Just like that. What did you change?
Scott, I wish I could tell you it was anything other than what Taylor just said. I mean, there's no secret. I just upped my lead investment, and that's what it is. And I think that, and I guess a lot of us can speak with conviction here, because before virtual, I was one that really, I take pride in working the ink off a lead. Okay, you and I talked about this.
He would too, wouldn't he, Nick? He was just like, I'm going to make sure I squeeze every ounce out of this thing. And what happened as a result of trying to do that, though?
Well, with virtual, it ended up being it's something that actually hindered me, and I had to get out of that mindset. I still battle it today. I mean, it's something that is ingrained in me. It's like, man, I can still get this lead, and but I have to constantly tell myself every day, go buy more leads, get more leads, just move on. everything will be fine. You know, it's just bad timing. Let's buy more leads. And you know, when you know that, and you know you can move forward with that, you can speak with conviction with that. And you know, and not only that, but also when you take that first 500 and you make that 1,000 to 1,500, there's two types of disciplines. There's the discipline in actually doing the mundane, getting the 6 a day and doing that. But the other side of the discipline is what do I do with the commissions that I get, and how much of that do I reinvest, and not go do what you want to do with it, but in order to feed your business and get in your business actually grow from that. So, you know, we always talk about doing the disciplines that it takes to, you know, to actually get 6 a day, you know, all of that. But you've got to have some discipline, because listen, I think we all battle with that too. You know, how much of this do we take, and how much do we put back into our business and go buy more leads? I mean, you know, but you gotta scale the business. You talk about any business that starts, you've got to start somewhere and you got to scale it. So, you know, I just would encourage everybody to, you know, when you take those commissions, take half of it and reinvest it, you know, or whatever it takes to scale the business up, because the system works, but you got to have the inventory to do it.
Yeah, that's a great point. You can't all of a sudden go, I'm going to go pay all my bills that I'm behind on, because here's what happens. Mike, once you burn through that $1,500 in Charlie's example, you're out of business. You're out of inventory. You have nothing to sell next week to make money. You just put yourself out of business. So the discipline, I think, is a great point, Charlie, is when you get that, you go, I got to reinvest. I got to reinvest to grow my income and keep my income going. Otherwise, it stops. And then you're sitting there next week going, I don't know what I'm going to do, man. I don't have any money for leads. You had it, but you went and paid all those bills, go behind, you killed your income. So you got to reinvest it, to Charlie's point. First money out is reinvest, then pay bills, then reinvest a little bit more and grow your income. So now you go, now I got more money to pay bills. So just keep growing your investment, kind of like Nick did. 750 investment. Then he went to 1,000. Then he went to 1,250. Then he went to 1,500. Then he went to 1,750. Because Nick said, I'm going to keep growing my income. And that was a direct result of his growing his investment. Taylor?
I got a direct question that I think probably a lot of people are wondering. It says, is Taylor getting all A leads, 30 to 40 each week, and how does he get 8 appointments a day? Answer to question 1, yes. Everybody here is getting all A leads. That's what you need to be on. Once you've developed your skill set and you feel comfortable jumping, jump to A leads as quickly as possible, I would say. Sorry, I've got the mowers out there. And then how do I get 8 a day? I just work. I mean, like yesterday, I got my butt kicked. I was texting till 4:00 in the afternoon, and I ended up booking 6, and it took me 500 texts. I just went back and counted at the end of the day. But I just did it. I mean, I don't know how else you do it. I mean, you have to commit to it. That's when everything changes for you. There's a lot of people that get on here, and I wanted to hit on this yesterday. There's a lot of people getting on here praying for an answer to their question, or praying for that one thing that's going to take your business, that you think is going to take your business to the next level. And you think, and then you get off the call and it hasn't been answered, and you're like, oh, this isn't working. The only thing not working is you. If you're not setting all of your 6 appointments a day, you have no other excuse. Like that's the only thing. That's the secret to this business. If you set 6 a day for 4 days a week, and you do that for a month, I mean, Nick, we said it yesterday. Find me somebody that's done that and it hasn't worked. Simple as that. Like when I was paying 10, 12, 15,000 a month, the only difference then was I wasn't being disciplined of hitting my 6 a day. And I knew on the bad weeks, I couldn't be mad at anybody but myself because I wasn't hitting 24. So that is we could go on and on and on about all sorts of stuff today, but at the end of the day, that is the only thing that matters, is getting 24 appointments. Activity solves all of your problems. I don't have enough leads. I don't have, I'm not getting enough sits. I'm not getting enough this. 7 more appointments. If fixes every single thing. Nick set 13 appointments yesterday. You think he's having a bad day because he didn't close 6 of them or whatever it was? No, but if you only set 6 and you didn't close, I mean, he's giving himself more opportunities than anybody else, and that's why he's killing everybody, because he works harder than everybody. That's it.
Hey, let me ask you this. Good stuff, Taylor. Let me ask you this. I'll throw this one to Nick. So how do you get 8 to 10 appointments a day if you're buying 40 A leads a week? That would mean about 80 to 100% close ratio on leads. Okay, don't get too far in the weeds on this one.
Yeah, that's what
Okay,
that's
how
what
you doing it?
I don't know who that question is, but that's somebody that's trying to overthink it. That's all that is. It's 6 appointments for every 10 A leads via text. All right, I get 40 a week. They stockpile every week along the way.
You should book 3 to 4 appointments out of A leads.
And I've posted this on social media. There'll be day 6 and 7 and 8 before I get that appointment booked. Okay. So it'll be day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 7, day 8. I ran a lead yesterday, Connor. Wrote $1,200 off of it. It was sent a text 8 days. So that means based on your script, because we follow your script that was sent out, that lead was texted 24 times before we booked the appointment.
But it wasn't from the same week.
No.
That wasn't from
They
this. He's not taking this 40 leads and throwing them out. At the end of the week, he doesn't say, I booked my 8, I'm going to take the 32 and throw them in the trash. They're still in the stack.
Yeah.
So now next week, he's got 72 leads.
Yeah.
So the inventory keeps building.
Yes.
That's how you get it.
That's how you get it.
We're
That's
still, I mean, to Charlie, like, we're still working the ink off our leads. It's just easier now. We just shoot them a
But
text.
the difference is Charlie wasn't reinvesting like he should have because he was trying to work the ink off the leads he had.
Right.
And I remember saying, Charlie, how many appointments you have today? Well, 2, man. I'm really trying to get these things. I'm working the ink off of them. And it's like, hey, you've been working all day on those same leads versus reinvesting in new inventory this week. You're spending a ton of time. If you would just go get yourself $500 worth of leads, you'd book some appointments today versus sitting there beating those up all day long.
Let me
So he
give you-
wasn't reinvesting the same level each week or growing it. He would go, I'm going to keep working these until I think I get everything I can out of them. Then I'll reinvest again. That may be 2 weeks from now. That doesn't work. Charlie will tell you that. It doesn't work. He went from 12 to 13,000 a month to 25 because he goes, now I reinvest every week. I don't worry about work. I work the ink off them, but I add new stuff, new investment every week to it. Okay, hey, good stuff. Charlie, thank you, man. Hey, let's bring on Tim Herbert. I want to know what Tim Herbert did. Tim Herbert, same thing. This week, Tim Herbert had a surge. Now, Tim's had a ton of stuff going on. But Tim Herbert came back after a ton of stuff going on and surged this week and has one of your biggest weeks you've had in a long, long time. Hey, Tim, what did you do differently this week?
What's up, man?
Hey, buddy.
You want to know the secret?
Yep.
All right.
Everyone
so
does.
I flew to Charlotte. I found Nick Burns. I high-fived him, and he transferred that magic to me, kind of like Space Jam. You know what I mean? Nah, I'm kidding. No, in all seriousness, it really it's just commitment. It's just like I committed. I just got a little bit more committed than I've been in my business. I mean, that's all it is, Rumbo. That's all it is. It's just commitment and being disciplined, like Taylor said. You know, on the days that I would work, I gotta work. You know, it doesn't make sense to run 2 or 3 appointments because that'll drive you nuts. You know, you gotta run 6. You gotta run 6. That's all it is. It's just that commitment level for me.
So the only thing you changed is this week you said, I'm not going to miss my 6.
You're just not going to miss your 6. The days that you're working, you just run at least 6 appointments. And I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of spoiled. 6 is kind of my number. You know, I stopped running, I'm not a 7, 8, 9, 10 kind of guy. Obviously I got some things going on, but just kind of getting back in the swing of things. But, you know, it's just that commitment, the commitment to at least 6. And once I get the 6, if a 7th or an 8th fill in because the techs, right, they come through later in the day, I'll run the 7 or I'll run the 8, you know, but just stacking them. I mean, I'm running 6 and you can run 6 appointments. The other day, I sat all 6 between 4:30 and 8:30. Sold all 6 of them. You know, I'm just getting a little bit more committed to just getting through the presentation in a timely manner. I used to spend an hour and a half with clients. Now I'm just very committed to, hey, I could talk to you all day, but let's get down to business, right? So.
Hey, so what you're hearing is The consistent message is they just up their activity and they committed to getting the minimum of 6 and adding fresh investment, fresh inventory on top of their current inventory each week. That's it. 6 a day, each week, add fresh inventory. And listen, if you're sitting there again, go, well, I don't have the money to do that. Go sell something. I remember when I got the buy here, pay here car after the other 2 got stolen in the middle of the night, I gave the car back. I sold it back because I said, I hate having to make that payment for $525 every month versus invest it in my business. So let's just use one car for a while because I need to invest that money in the business. The second car wasn't getting me a return on my investment. And money was tight then. So I just said, let's just get rid of that. And let's take the $525 and invest it in leads so I can grow the business. If you're there right now, you can change that. You can go from that to an integrity partnership if that's what you want. Life can change, but you have to commit to what these guys are talking about. Consistent every day, 6 appointments a day, add fresh leads on top of it. Doesn't matter what kind of leads. It's all about the investment. Add fresh inventory to your leads every week. In order to do that, go get your 6 a day because the sales will come. Your skill set will continue to develop and grow. You'll go from $3,500 on your $500 investment to $5,000. You see that consistently with the people that have gone through the numbers. They put in the reps, as Lincoln talks about, and they're getting that $5,000. And I'm going to talk to someone tomorrow who says, I'm not getting that. We're going to see what's going on with that. So same thing what these guys are talking about. They just up their commitment. They disciplined themselves to 6 appointments a day and just grew their investment, their lead investment.
Let me say
Over
something,
time.
Rambo, if I can. I heard something this morning, and it said, everybody on here has a dream, right? Everybody's dream driven. That's why we're in this business. And it said, fear kills more dreams than failure. And I remember when I started this business, I was terrified to even make a phone call. I mean, it may have taken me an hour just to dial those digits in. And I feel like that's where a lot of people are so caught up on this call because I've been there. And what you realize is it's not as scary as it actually is. And the training and the platform that we have now is incredible compared to when I got into business 6 years ago, right? I mean, my presentation was drawing on the back of the lead, drawing out what annual renewable term was, what accidental death was, And this business is so duplicatable and scalable. Duplicatable if you want to come in and be a producer, and scalable if you want to build a business. It's incredible, right? And that's what we're looking for. But, I just really just like I challenged myself this week. If you guys have ever, and I know a lot of people have experienced this, but Rumbo, have you ever got to the weekend and you're just like, man, I just don't feel the way I should feel. I didn't work the way I should work.
Yeah.
The effort level wasn't there. And I've had a lot of weekends like that. It ain't going to be like that this weekend. Barry Clarkson, and I'm going to butcher the story, but he told a story a long time ago, man. It's probably been 4 or 5 years. And he told a story about this father and this son that used to go out of town and mine for gold every single day, day after day after day after week after week after week after month after month. And they would never strike gold. They'd come back into the city and they come back into the town and everybody would say, hey, did you guys strike gold? And they're like, nah, not today. Well, after years and years, they finally struck gold. And he looks at his son and says, we're going to come back tomorrow. We're not telling anybody. And they walk into town and they started ringing the bells. They struck gold because they were walking a little different. They were talking a little different. They were feeling themselves a little different. Run a solid 24. Get committed to your business. You will walk different. You'll talk different. You'll feel different. You'll communicate different. And it's just a powerful thing.
Yeah. Thank you, Tim. Hey, Heather, let's bring on, I want to bring on Noel. Hey, Charlie, Tim, thank you. Good stuff, guys. Bring on Noel. Then I want to help an agent here that's struggling. Hey, Noel, good morning. Hey, let's unmute you.
Good morning, Scott.
Morning. Hey, you sent me a message yesterday. Let's help someone out here. Is John Lamb on? John Lamb's not on? That's part of the problem. No?
I want to say something real quick. We just got a message from Elena. So Noel's video is online right now. Unreal, Connor Jones. It's absolutely unreal. take it a step further with you and Rumbo and JB breaking it down. It's absolutely amazing. All right. But here's what's somewhat embarrassing. Only 180 views were yesterday on her video. And somebody might say, well, man, 180 is a lot of views. There's 472 people on this call. If I'm struggling, before I started doing virtual appointments, in my downtime, I'm watching your dad, Connor. I'm watching his in-home presentation. I'm watching Mike Coe make dials. I'm constantly watching that, and I'm mimicking everything they do, right? That's all that's holding you back from talking like Taylor Rumbo's talking right now. Tim Herbert, the only reason he's talking away is because he went to work this week.
Yep.
All right. Here's the head fake, though. Like JB says this. JB sent this text. The head fake is when you're like Lincoln this week, you invest $300 in leads and you write $7,400. So he's going to, and he's going to have a leader in his grill saying, hey, you can't invest $300 next week and expect $7,400. You have to be on 1,000 a week, because on 1,000 a week, it's going to give you the opportunities, but most importantly, it's going to push you, Connor Jones, to go to work every day. Once you get pushed out of your comfort zone, right, you're going to start working. There's a reason why when eaglets are born, the mama quits fixing the nest. She quits fixing the nest because all of a sudden the nest starts breaking apart, right? It's not comfortable to that baby eaglet. It's pushed so the eaglet can be born to do what it's to do. It's to fly, right? You're born to do so much more than you're doing right now because you're sitting. You're like I was over the last 3 years, and I'll tell you my story later on down the road. This is not the time for it. But I was sitting, Rumbo. I was waiting for my ship to come by. I had some success in this business. I was entitled, right? I wasn't going to work. I wasn't working. When I started working and I got engaged, all of a sudden this opportunity started getting bigger for me, right? 180 views on your video is embarrassing, Noel. There should be 500 views, maybe more than that. So you should need to watch it 2 and 3 and 4 times because she's writing 15,000 a week. I would hinge on every word that she says because she knows what she's doing. That's all that's holding you back from all of your excuses is work.
Yeah, that's a great point. I would go on there, watch her appointment video, then watch the coaches break down the video. And here's what I would do. I would have a notepad out. And as we say, stop, and we're pointing out things like how you get them on camera, what the email signature should look like. And she's directing them through the email signature down to the whereby, how she's doing. I would be, when the coaches are talking about that, I would be making notes like crazy. Okay, right here. I got to make, here's how I get them on video. Like, don't put in there, here, click to the link on the right to join the meeting. Don't put that in there. It's not in there. None of these people that are on screen right now have it in there. Because that doesn't work. It may work for you now, but it doesn't work when you try to scale it to 500. Because you know what happens then? Then someone in Jamie Trent's group says, hey, man, I'm not getting that same result. It's because you're not doing the same thing. Like, just copycat it. Just copycat it. You got to be able to teach it to 500 people, 1,000 people, 5,000 people. And if you're tweaking things, all of a sudden we're going, well, this person has it this way and this person has it that way. Theirs says click on the video link. Theirs says join the meeting. And then Connor and Charlie and Noel and Tim and everyone on here, theirs does it. I would do what theirs is doing. If you're going out, if you're going to be a great athlete, a great football player, and you go out and you go on, you get the chance to go and practice, right, Tim? With let's say it's whatever your team is. You get to go out there. Let's say it's the Ravens, because I know Danny McCrae's on there. The Ravens. You get to go and say, I want to be a great player. You're not going to go mimic the guy that's on the bench. You're going to go find the best player on the field. Go, this guy has the best stats. Man, he makes the most money. I want to be like him. I'm going to do exactly what he does. Noel is that player. I want to go on and do exactly what Noel's doing because I want her result. Just copycat it. That's why we're telling you guys. There's no secrets. We're saying we're transparent. Everything's on the table. Noel went through that appointment perfectly. We were blown away. We're sitting there going, wow, man. I want to be like that. Just go copycat it. Just do what these guys are doing. Lead investment, add fresh investment every week, get your 6 appointments minimum, and then copy Noel Hughes' appointment. That's all you got to do. It's really that simple. That's all each one of these people did. Nick Burns copycatted the website. He copycatted Connor and Taylor and Noel and the people that we have in the training center. He just said, I'm just going to copycat it. Why did he have the success he started having early on? Because they said no less than 6. So he committed to no less than 6. Same thing with Brennan, 18-year-old Brennan. Why is he having the success he's having? He's the next Connor Jones? Because he said 6 appointments a day. That's what Connor said. Grow my lead investment each week, and I grow my income. He came out of high school. He just goes, I don't know any better, Jamie. I don't know to question it, so I'm just going to do what he said. And it's not surprising he's writing what he's writing and making the money he's making at 18 years old and got a whole bank account full of cash because he goes, I don't know any different. I just copy what Connor said. Guys, that's all it is. But you have to decide. You have to make a commitment to yourself before you can make a commitment to your family. Make a commitment to yourself that you're not going to miss your 6 and just do what we're doing. Don't overthink this thing. I know there's people on here right now, they're going, man, these guys aren't telling us something. There ain't no way this thing works like that. Ain't no way these people are making hundreds of thousands of dollars each just doing what they're telling us. That's exactly why, because we just made it real simple and it works. There's a reason Connor Jones made $511,000 last year because Connor Jones figured out what worked, 6 appointments a day. Then he just kept upping his lead investment. That's all it was. No secret. So again, we just want to be transparent with you. I was hoping to coach someone this morning because they're struggling. They're not on here.
I get private messages every day. Sometimes I get people like calling me on Facebook. They don't have my number, but they're calling me somehow, asking for help. Yesterday, I had someone ask me if they could pay me for 2 hours to train them and coach them. And I was like, no, I don't do that. Get on the coaching call. Go watch the videos. I agree with Nick. Like, it's a shame that more people aren't taking advantage of that. I think that they think there's a shortcut, that there's a Cliff Notes version. If they can just skim through it real fast, they'll find success. And that's not true. You've got to, like, it's spelled out. It's on the virtual training center, the 8-step guided startup. My video is number 6, but there's 8 videos that tell you step by step by step. And I think that's why these guys they kind of sound a little bit annoyed. I'm not going to lie. They're kind of like, why? Like, what are we doing here if nobody's going to go through those 8 steps first? We don't want to answer questions that are already videoed out, that, Equus paid money to hire someone to film it, to probably, format it in PDFs and give you links and hyperlinks to go, like, it's all there. So go grab it, and it's free. Nobody's charging you. I'm not charging by the hour. Connor's not charging. Nick never charges. Scott doesn't charge. And, it's funny, like, people think that I'm super successful. This was my day yesterday. I only closed 3 appointments. I had 9. And I only closed 3 of them. And then the day before, I had 9 appointments and I only closed 3 of them. I'm not like this, like, idiot savant who closes at 100% of what I sit on. That's not true. Like, I don't. And, I've got new agents here. They saw every single appointment yesterday. They saw it. They saw how, like, crappy some people were jerks to me. Like, one of them was just a big fat jerk. And some of them were super nice. Some of them were no closes. Some of them were just too sick or too dumb to want it. But, you got to go through the numbers. That's why they say activity solves. If I only ran 6 appointments yesterday, I would have closed nothing. And I think a lot of new agents get really disheartened when they sit on 6 and they close nothing. But all these coaches here, raise your hand if you've gone a day where you've sat on 6 and closed nothing. Raise your hand. All of us. Every single one of us has done that. And so when you, a brand new agent, go and sit there and you feel like a failure. You feel real crappy about yourself and you just kind of wallow. But you just got to get back up and keep going. We just run more appointments than you. That's it. We're no better than you are. None. We just run more appointments than you do. So just keep running them. And if you sit on 9 and you close 3, that's phenomenal. You guys are doing good.
Thank you, Noel. Hey, listen. So you're thinking right now, well, I don't get to sit in Noel's office to watch her do appointments. Yeah, you do. It's step 6. And we break it down for you. You get to watch her do a live appointment. It's on there, step 6. I get that a lot. Hey, any chance I can go sit in Connor's office or Nick's office or Taylor's office and one of these other guys sitting there? Yeah, you can go sit in Noel's office. Step 6. You're sitting right in the office with her, watching her do an appointment. Just go to your 6. Hey, here's hang in with me because we're going to talk to 2.0. Thank you, coaches. Great stuff, everyone. Hey, 2.0, talk to me about debt-free for life. I want to address something here.